Good morning, everybody. Quick little lesson here in how quote satanic end quote numerology actually is. Sorry, mustache hair trying to disrupt. First off, the number one addiction throughout human history, the top addiction within the human race, has always been an addiction to sex. Okay? That addiction is actually the underlying root, if you will, to nearly all other addictions that are disruptive to human thought processing. I'm not going to get off into the addictive mind or anything right now. Just study that paradigm for a little bit if you don't believe me, and it'll open itself right up to you, believe me. That's factual. Ask your favorite psychiatrist or psychologist or whatever how factual that really is. If they don't agree with that, then find a different psychologist or psychiatrist, because they're nuts. Anyway, let's talk about this numerology deal for a moment, okay? In counting, in base 10 counting, okay, which has its roots in Amharic, one of the world's first organized languages that was able to be written down in script form, scripture. Okay, scripture means script, writings. That's all that word means. Okay, back to the numerology deal. In base 10, you have ones, which includes hundreds. Times 10, you have thousands. Times 10, you have millions. Times 10, you have billions. Times 10, you have trillions. Times 10, you have gigillions. Times 10, you have sextillions. Did you catch that? Sextillions. A sextillion is, for process of explanation here, is a 1 followed by 21 zeros. 21 of them. So if you write a 1 and then 21 zeros, you've just written 1 sextillion. sextillion, sextillion. Have a nice day. And quit getting into men's, humans nonsense. Okay? I mean, this is how finite our universe is actually set up. This body, this skin and bone body that I have, is based on a carbon atom called, in fact, all life is, called carbon-12, the carbon-12 atom. You know, those little tiny things with protons, electrons, and neutrons? Yeah, atoms, atoms. Carbon-12 atoms has a rather incredible number of protons, electrons, and neutrons. Take a wild guess what the building blocks of human bodies, not life, we're not talking about spiritual life here, we're talking about our physical bodies. Take a wild guess how many protons, electrons, and neutrons, which are basically the three parts that make up an atom, ATOMS. 3 parts. Yeah. It has 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 6 neutrons. Carbon-12 atoms, the building block for necessary for human life, human physical life, these bodies of ours to exist. Okay? Now, think about this. It states early in the Bible that man was formed out of the mud. Okay? Oh, and also it also says, now let us create man, meaning humans. Now let us. In other words, it wasn't just God himself that created humans, okay? Us, plural. Formed out of the mud, where all physical life on planet Earth began. Do a little research on evolution if you haven't ever. That's where life began, was out of the mud. Yep, I'm saying it out loud. Our Creator used evolution to a point to create human beings, not spiritual life, just the physical life. These physical bodies. One last deal. Almost everywhere in the Bible and the Quran and the various other theological books of script writings, when it's talking about life, it's not talking about the physical life unless it specifically states that that's what it's talking about. We're talking about life, like life entering the human body on first breath, life entering the physical body on first breath. Talking about the spirit, the soul, the spiritual life upon first breath. Our soul being inhaled as we were a screaming crying, gasping for air little infant baby right outside of the mother's birthing canal. Yeah, that's how you, me, and everybody else got into these human bodies. Well, everybody else except one humanoid body on this planet. And he is, well, he's not human to begin with. He was a test tube baby. Yep. Mama Trump supplied the egg, but he was grown in a test tube. Yeah. Oh, he took a first breath when they took him out of the bladder that he grew in. He's doesn't have a soul or a spirit other than himself. Okay? That's hard to wrap your mind around, but Donald John Trump is Satan incarnate in human form. Have a blessed rest of eternity, everybody. Yes, rest of eternity. You're in eternity right now.